Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this Bracwiser monitor mount stand. So if you find this video helpful and you want to purchase one of these, I'll put a link to it in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So I was looking for a very simple monitor mount, something that was low profile, easy to set up, and this is the one I came across. So I wanted to shoot a little video about it. So let's get this open. So according to the description on Amazon, this is for 13 to 32 inch screens up to 22 pounds. So this is not for real heavy monitors. So here we have the instructions. This talks about all the parts. You can pause and read through that. Looks like there's two ways to install this. You can install it on the edge of a desk or through the grommet. So this is a pole you mount to the desk, and then it has a swivel arm on it. And it mounts with a 75 or 100 millimeter VESA mount screws. So that's common on monitors, and actually other things might have those. Then it has a retaining screw on the top, angle adjustment. Looks like there's a little bit of a height adjustment and some cable management. Okay. So here is the post. It's made of steel. Not sure what that is. This looks like a tablet stand. I didn't know it came with the tablet stand. It's the bracket. This is the monitor mount. And we have a box of hardware. Let's get this open. So here we have the clamp mount, and that looks pretty heavy duty. Super thick. Wow. And that goes on here. So this is actually hardwareless. Let's open this up a little bit. So it just locks on like so. So if you have an extra wide desk. So that looks like it will open up very wide. Let me unscrew this. Now it does have foam here, but it does not have foam here. You could always add foam, and it doesn't have foam on the back either. So if you have a fragile desk, you might need to put foam on those other parts. So let's measure the largest surface. So that's at about maybe 3 5/8 inches. Let's go to this other setting, although this doesn't really matter because you can always clamp it down. That's about 2.5 inches. And then of course it's to 0. So lots of range on that. It's pretty impressive. So it looks like we have cable management here, and this is a tool holder, and here is our hardware. So this comes with some different spacers and washers for different size monitors. So I found sometimes the hardware is not exactly what you need. You might have to purchase additional hardware if you have different types of monitors. So I'll get this put together. So there's a screw in here. And there's also a washer. So that's going to go in the bottom of this and into here. So this is keyed, so it can go multiple directions. And it looks like for grommet mounting this, you're just going to put this through the grommet. Okay, so I'll tighten that down. Now I can clamp this to a surface. I'm going to put this in the front of my bench here. And this is about 1.5 inches thick, so I can use the smaller setting. So this is what it looks like, and I'm going to put this on and clamp it on. So that's some thick metal that clamps very tightly. Now let's install the monitor arm. So as we open this up, the part that holds the monitor will go up. So this should go on like this. And we'll use the largest hex key size. I'm liking that right about there. Or I'll lift it all the way up so I can get a full height measurement. Now if you had the proper tools, you might be able to pop this cap out and cut this down if you wanted to customize this. So for a basic stand, this is a lot beefier than I was expecting. This is thick metal on all of this. Okay, I may need to tighten that a little more later, but we can rotate this now. Now this could be loosened up. Looks like there's a bolt on the bottom of this, and this one just threads right in. So if I needed, I could loosen that. I'll leave it now. I like it to be pretty firm. So this is where the monitor will mount. So this will go on here like so, and that requires a Phillips screwdriver. And I need a monitor. So this is a Asus, I think it's a 21 or 24 inch monitor. 24, I think. Let me move the stand out of the way. So So here are the mounting holes. So I'm hoping maybe these shorter screws will work. And the size of these screws is M4 with a 0.7 thread pitch. So I have a plate somewhere. It's on the stand. So that will mount up like so. And on certain monitors you may need some of these spacers, especially if you have like a curved back or one that's not flat. This is just perfect here. So I'm going to start all of the screws before I tighten them down. Now if you get to a point where these are bottomed out and the plate is not tight, you're going to have to add spacers or get shorter screws. You don't want to over tighten these or you could break something. So I got all 4 started, then I can tighten them down. Now I mounted this in the traditional position, but you could also tilt this 90 degrees if you wanted a vertical mount or a vertical display. So I'll take off the monitor stand here. Okay, so I have the mount on here. I'll thread this nut up a little bit and we'll get it mounted on the arm. So I still have it mounted off to the side. I'll just pull this out here. I'll slide this on here. And we can see that screw is matching up. Now I don't want to let go of this because this is not tight probably. So I can screw this down and that will help retain it. You could just put this on here without the screw. Of course it would be loose. So now I'm going to take a hex key and I will tighten this at the angle I want. Just probably about there. Now it might sag just a hair after you tighten that, so you may want to bias it towards tilted up too far and then it might hang back into position. So I want that nice and tight. There we go. And now we have the monitor on an arm. So we'll see this from the back side first. So I can angle this like so. So the monitor is in line with the post, and then if I want to bring it out, I can do that. Now I don't know if this is the best stand if you're moving this in and out daily. There's probably better stands for that. So I think this would probably be better if you have a position you like and you want to put it in that position. I don't know if these would get loose over time. I don't know if they have real good bushings in them. And of course you're not going to want to raise and lower this on a daily basis. But my whole point of this was to get a basic stand, not one with a ton of features. Let me move it onto this side of the desk so we can see it in a more traditional fashion. So I have to be really careful. It would be best to take the monitor off because it could flop out as I'm doing this. Okay, so here we have this set up. Of course, this came with cable management. So this will clip to the post. These will clip to the arms. I probably should have slipped this on before I put it all together, but that does have a place for the tools. So now we have the wires routed, and that's a nice clean look. Let me get some measurements on this. This is around 16.5 inches from my desk, and I'm not doing exact measurements here. And this was a, I think, 24-inch monitor. The bottom of the monitor here is around 12.25, and the top is around 25.25. This will vary depending on what monitor you're using, but this is a general idea of where it's at. When it's all the way in, it's maybe about 9 inches deep. It's hard to get a measurement on that. So when this is fully extended, the back of the monitor to the post is about 18 inches or so. So you want to make sure you have a very sturdy desk or bench that you're clamping this to if you're going to have it fully extended. Now if you have a thinner desk, you might want to clamp a board onto the bottom, because this is a heavy duty clamp and it can handle quite a bit of force, I'm guessing, but the desk itself would have a lot of leverage on it. This is 2 layers thick of MDF, so it's very strong. So as I was bending that back into place, I noticed I didn't have enough slack in the cord, so I had to fish a little bit more through, but it should be good now. So that was the Bracwiser monitor stand. So I was looking for a very simple stand, and this met my requirements. I wouldn't mind an even lighter weight stand, made of aluminum even, but that would probably drive up the price. If you have some basic skills, you can put this together. I would say where you could get hung up is you need to make sure this is tight enough to support the monitor, and then you may need to adjust these pivots. So this one has a bolt on it. So if you needed that tighter or looser, you might need a little wrench there. But it's pretty straightforward. And again, this is not fancy looking, but it's very functional. And I would say it's a lot heavy dutier than I expected. Now they do say it's rated for 22 pounds, and one reason is because once you bring it out far, there could be a lot of weight on it. But if you're looking for a simple monitor stand, I think this is a great option. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you liked this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.